is Rosemary Murley. I am a emergency response technician, otherwise known as a 911 operator. I have been here for almost 10 years. August 11th will be 10 years as a call taker. We call them call taker also. I've also been a fire cross-trained fire dispatcher for 9 years and a trainer for 8 years.
Awesome. And so how did you first become interested?
I just really wanted to help people. I worked in another a school district, and so I was getting the same kind of retirement, so I wanted to continue that retirement, and so I looked at city jobs and wanted to make a difference, and here I am. I really didn't have to have any education, just customer service experience, typing 40 words per minute, and just being able to work with others, talk with others, be patient and calm.
Awesome.
And a high school diploma or GED also. But you need to be a good listener. You need to have patience. I think you need to be organized, empathetic, have good communication skills. Just be a multitasker, willing to go from one thing to another. Just be ready for whatever comes your way. You never know what you're going to get every time you pick up that call. So typical starting salary is $19.97 an hour and about $3,462 a month is what it is right now. And then you can get advancement by performance evaluations, or if the city does a cost of living kind of increase, then you'll also get that. Sure. We have a center that is divided up between dispatchers and call takers, and then we have supervisors in the middle, and then our fire dispatch. We also have the ambulance company. The local ambulance company also has dispatchers up here that they're kind of on their own but a part of us. We have anytime minimum anywhere from 5 to 8 call takers depending on the time of day or the shift that we're on, and then dispatchers, about 7 to 9 dispatchers that are on here, the shift at one time. We have pods that we sit at, and you just kind of alternate from one side to the other side. You have 4 monitors. You have your headset is on you at all times. The dispatcher's headset, they can walk around with it, but the call takers, you have to sit at your pod. We have rising desks, so you can stand up if you want to throughout the shift. We do work 10-hour shifts, and we do have 3 days, consecutive days off, with lots of overtime available at any different times of the year. It could be anything. We first start out every morning. Typically every morning, all the shifts start out with at least 30 minutes of, we call it a lineup or a briefing time, where you go over major calls that happened the night before or any changes that are occurring, some kind of training maybe during that time, and just get ready for the day. Then you go out to your computer and you just sit down, you get logged into all the systems, and you get ready to go for that call. You just sit there ready. And as soon as that phone rings, you're either assigned to all lines, meaning admin lines or alarm lines, or you're assigned to 911 only. So you're getting 911 calls the entire time. Some of the benefits are definitely that you're making a difference in people's lives. I have a philosophy that whenever you pick up that phone, it's somebody's brother, sister, mother, father, child, somebody's something. So just remember that. It's their worst day ever that they're calling 911. They're not calling because they just want to talk to somebody. We do get calls like that people want to talk, but mostly it's their worst day ever, and you have to be ready for that. You have to be attentive of what's going on and listen for those little cues of what could be going on, but they're really not telling you everything because they're scared because something's going on in the background. So you really have to listen to the background noise and what's going on, and just really pay attention. But it's rewarding. It's rewarding at the same time. I mean, in the almost 10 years I've been here, I've delivered 3 babies over the phone. I've gotten Life Save awards where I've had somebody perform CPR on the phone, and they survived and got transported to the hospital, and they survived that. So there's rewards. There's also, it can be challenging to get some of those calls that I have teenagers at home. So some of the teenager calls, the suicide calls, those kind of calls, they can be hard on you, but you have to find a way to be able to to vent kind of to yourself, to kind of relieve that and not hold everything so personal. And it's their worst day, so they may be calling and they may be yelling and profanity at you and everything else, just because they want an ambulance or they want the police there right then and there. All you can do as a call taker is get the information, get as much information so that you can get it over to the dispatcher, so the dispatchers can dispatch whatever units they're needed to get out to get help for them. It just depends. It depends on what stage in your family life you're in. If you have small children, some people like the midnight shift because they can be available during the day for their children. Sometimes you lack sleep because you have that shift because you need to sleep during the day. But for some, it's better to be able to work at nighttime if you have somebody else that can be with the kids in the evening times while they're sleeping. Others, it's best for them to get up and go in the day, and while their kids are at school, they're at school. So it just depends on the shift and the time of day and the stage of life that you're in with your family. For singles, any shift works out good. For me personally, because I do have so many kids at home, the swing shift didn't work out for me, and I never had to do the swing shift, so it worked out okay for me. I think it's two-sided. I think internally, I'm a trainer, so I like to train, and I like to get people in here that are compassionate as I am about the community and about the things that they're going to be doing to be attentive to the job and everything. And also, I'm a mentor for anybody that's out on the floor, that we call it our floor. I'm a mentor to everybody. So if they're having problems outside of the work, I want to be available for them. If they're having surgeries or they're having things that are going on, I want to be available to do meal trains or whatever for them. It's because we have to support within. It's a hard job, and it's not for everybody. But I want to support the whole person. I want to support them while they're here and while they're out, as well as, of course, helping the community. Every year, whenever I've delivered a baby, I'm like, oh, that baby's now 5 years old, and I'm a part of their life. And even the hardest call that we take, I have to turn it around in my head and say, it may not have ended the way I wanted it to end. They may have committed suicide or whatever the situation is, but I was the last person that they talked to. If it was my voice and I was respectful and I was caring and compassionate with them, I did all I could do. I think that the only thing that's really going to change is technology. Technology is everywhere now, and we've already changed a lot with text to 911. You can text 911 back and forth, and maybe some visual things may be coming up, which may be a little bit scary to see, that we're kind of guarded by that visual, but that may be coming up. I think that we're getting a lot of younger employees, which is great because they're good with technology. They just have that go kind of attitude, and I think that's great. I think it's good to be able to have that and to just bring it all together. But as far as the career changing, unfortunately, life happens outside, and so that's what we're here for. I really suggest that if you ever want to come in and see what this job is really all about, come in and do a ride-along. Come a ride-along, you contact the communication center at 444-7771, and you can talk to a supervisor, come in and sit along with somebody and listen to the calls that we take and see if this is something for you that you'd be interested in doing. I think that's a great thing, as well as you can also do ride-alongs with the police department. So you can contact any local substation, police station, and talk to them about doing a ride-along with them as well. I think this job is it's not for everybody. But if you are interested in making a change in somebody's life or being there for people on their last days, on their worst days ever, on their best days ever, having a baby on their worst day, their best day ever, that's just the greatest thing to be a part of. But again, it's not for everybody. But I always tell people when they're new trainees, don't give up. It's a lot of information to learn, but you can do it. You can do it, and just the difference that you make in the lives of other people is just amazing. Amazing.